Let's take a look at this deck that I got from my local Barnes & Noble. This is the Bicycle Royal deck. As you can see on the back here, I got it for $10.99. And just looking at the box here, it's a really nice, rich blue, almost kind of like regal purple-ish looking thing, which I guess with it being called Royal, that is the case there. Nice gold font and everything on there, kind of like a foil finish, looks like. United States Playing Card Company on the side there. Air cushion finish, as you would expect from most bicycle decks. Down at the bottom, nothing special there. Up at the top, you have a heart and a spade kind of thing there, look like jewels, all that kind of stuff. Really cool. Let's go ahead and crack these open and see what we got here. So we have our tab on the side. So go ahead and get that cellophane off, pull that out. And looking at the box without all of that extra cellophane on there. Now, I always like to take a knife and just kind of very easily go through here, cut that seal like that. I know some people like to just take their thumb and go down there and press all that, but I do like to not damage the boxes if at all possible. So there's a look inside the flap there. We'll pull these out like that. Perfect. Set the box to the side, and here is our first look at the Bicycle Royal deck. So we have a joker there. There was another joker at the back. So we have two different colored jokers, it looks like. We have a gold one and then a bluish purple one. Do we have any kind of like reveals on these? It doesn't look like it. No, but there is the back of the card. These are what all of these are gonna look like. Really, really nice purple color on those. So let's set those up there. And then we have our ace of spades. We'll take a look at the ace of spades and all of these decks as we open them. Looks absolutely stunning. We have like a bunch of jewel action going on there. United States Playing Card Company down there, made in USA. And then we'll go ahead and just give the cards a nice spread like that. Make sure they're all there. That is something you want to look for. You're not ever going to find that issue really in these decks, but if there are any kind of misprints or anything, if you send the ace of spades back to the United States Playing Card Company, they will replace your deck. So just keep that in mind. So it looks like we have all of the spades, all of the diamonds, all of the clubs, all of the hearts, and then down here we have an add card for you right there. So just double-sided, looks like it is the same. And then, as with standard with a lot of these decks, we have a double back card. So you can kind of get some, magic tricks going on there if you need a double-sided card. You have that for use with this deck. Now, taking a look at the spread on the back, look at that. Lots of color in there. I mean, I know it's just the one color, but that looks really, really good on a spread. We'll go ahead and just kind of look at what a fan looks like in the hand. Looks great there. They feel fantastic as you would expect. We'll go ahead and set these cards to the side over here. So let's go ahead and take a look at the cards individually. So we'll go ahead and start with all of the spades really quick. So we already know what the ace of spades looks like. So we have our two. We won't go through all of them individually, but like we'll just kind of get an idea. So it looks like all of the spades are going to be these jeweled looks here like that. And then we'll go to the court cards. So there's a nice jack of spades, one of my favorite cards. We have our queen of spades right there, nice and regal looking. And then our king of spades. Beautiful. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the next suit here. We'll look at the diamonds. So we got our ace of diamonds there. Beautiful stuff. We have all of our number cards, which are going to be more of the same with like the diamondy kind of look there, or not diamond, I guess these would be rubies, right? But they are diamonds, right? Then we're moving on to the court cards. So there's our jack of diamonds, looks nice. Queen of diamonds, very pretty. And our king of diamonds, looking nice as well. Nice dapper chap. Let's go on to the clubs now, which these are going to obviously be in reverse order. So we're going to take a look at the court cards first. So we have our king of clubs, our queen of clubs, and our jack of clubs. Really nice. I like the gold accents in the middle there. Again, kind of going back to that jeweled look on all of the pips of the number cards here. And then the ace looking really nice. We'll flip it over there so you can see what it looks like properly. Awesome stuff. All right, and then, yeah, I'm gonna mix these cards up. I usually give the cards a couple of shuffles before I put them back in the box. And then here are the hearts. So again, we have our King of Hearts. We have our Queen of Hearts, the loveliest card in the deck. And then our Jack of Hearts. And then back to that jeweled look for all of the heart pips there. And then we'll go and look at the Ace of Hearts, which looks really, really nice. I really like the artwork on that Ace of Hearts. Good stuff there. So there is that. We'll go ahead and give the cards a couple shuffles here just to see how they perform kind of out of the box. Thus far, kind of what you would expect. Looks like they shuffle really nicely as far as table shuffles go. If you do proper riffle shuffles like this, performance in the hand, they spread really easy like that. So you shouldn't have any kind of problem like with any other bicycle deck using this. Now I will say, something that you'll notice with cards that are full color like this, so ones that have a lot of color right around the edges, is that if you use them, you're gonna notice that along the sides, along up here, when they get you know, chipped away and all that kind of stuff, as more use is put on them, you're gonna start to see the color kind of fade around the edges. Now, what a lot of people have done, specifically on decks that are like black, is they'll take like a black Sharpie and they'll go around the side and try to correct everything. Don't do that. Just don't do that. If you're gonna use the decks, that's what they're intended to be for, right? They're works of art in their own right, right? But they're not intended to just sit in their boxes and never be used, because realistically, while the box art looks great, that's not why you're buying the deck of cards. You're buying the deck of cards to see all of the artwork on the inside and to use the decks, right? Just because they're pretty doesn't mean that they're not functional. So keep that in mind. That is my review and first look at the Bicycle Royal deck. Found this again at Barnes & Noble. You can probably find this online, or if you happen to be at your local Barnes & Noble, if you have one of those near you, check out their card selection. They have a lot of different selections there. I have a couple more over here that I'm gonna go over in different videos. But with that being said, make sure you subscribe to the Flamingo Dealer here on YouTube, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.